Since you clicked on this video, I assume you already know what Studio C is. Actually, if you clicked on this video, it probably means you're a friend or family member of mine who's trying to be supportive, so I'd better explain. Studio C is a sketch comedy show on BYU TV, as in Brigham Young University. It first aired in 2012, and it's still going today. While the show's main attraction was that it was family-friendly, you don't have to be like a parent or a kid to enjoy it. It's more like writing that was for adults, but just didn't have a lot of like sex or swearing in it. And you don't have to be like a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints to enjoy it either. I mean, I'm not. They've done a few Mormon-specific sketches, but not that many. The cast was so funny and the writing was so clever that it became a big hit. In 2017, 3 new cast members were added. Then, after season 9, the original cast left. They formed their own independent YouTube channel, JK Studios. Aaron Fielding, one of the new members, also left. Kind of wish he'd stayed. The other 2 new additions, Dalton Johnson and Tori Pence, stayed, however. And there were 9 new cast members added. Since then, more members have come and gone. Jason Gray, one of the originals, has actually returned recently. Tori Pence is no longer there. I wish Ike Flitcraft had stayed. Actually, he's still there as a producer, I believe. He was one of my favorites of the new generation. But the addition of Megan Rico has been very welcome. Inevitably, there was a bit of a split in the fandom with the new cast. If you look at Studio C's YouTube channel, more specifically the comments for a lot of their videos, you can read a lot saying how much better the old cast was. There's fewer of them now, though. Probably because they realize that if they didn't like the new videos, they shouldn't watch them. There's also been a bit of a counter-reaction with a lot of comments defending the new cast. I'd like to defend them too. I say that the new cast members can be just as funny and charismatic as the old ones. Sheesh! I'd say Garrett Allen might actually be funnier than any of them. That being said, I can't defend the new Studio C. I guess it's been on enough now that we can't really call them the new Studio C. The more recent Studio C, I can't defend them as much as I like to. While they're very funny performers, the writing has not been as consistently great as in the old days. Don't get me wrong, they still do some very clever sketches. There's this one called Baseball Talk. You can watch it on YouTube. That's brilliant. This is the part of the video, I guess, where I'm supposed to explain what makes something funnier, but that's so subjective, I'm not really sure if I can do it. I guess I'd say that some of the more recent Studio C, they over-rely on being loud and silly and repetitive. Not that the originals weren't usually often loud and silly and repetitive, but I feel like some of the newer ones, it's like all they are.
I can't imagine what you're going through. Like, me and Tyler are going strong, and we're gonna be together forever, but like, oh my gosh, Jane? Tyler just texted me that we're done! Done? Is love even real? It was real, ladies! 26 inches of dough covered in a thick layer of cheese and marinara sauce! Let's do it! I'll go get it! It's gonna be okay. Pizza! Where are these pizzas even coming from? Doesn't matter! More pizza!
there are some sketches where they over-rely on a crazy premise and they don't really do anything with it, and it comes across as more weird than funny.
My favorite Wranglers. I thought I lost these. This has gone too far, cows! You're never gonna beat me!
All right, honey.
A particularly bad example of this was in season 15, episode 5, where they did a parody of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and it's sad because the performers in it are doing great, but it's just this one joke that they stretch out for a long time, and it's just not that funny. But that same episode, right after that sketch, I think, actually, they do one of their greatest sketches ever.
Stand down! We have you surrounded!
Oh, we'll see about that.
I have a hostage.
No, please. I'm a married man. I have a wonderful wife. I got 5 kids.
Interestingly, JK Studios, that the old cast formed, hasn't had consistently great writing either. Now, remember, there's a difference between consistently great and not great at all. They've definitely done some hilarious videos.
Where have you been, young man?
Dad, I was just...
You were out with those church friends again of yours, weren't you?
Yes.
How dare you tell the truth to my face? I knew those kids would be a good influence on you.
I'm sorry. I thought it wouldn't be a...
Hang on. Did you just apologize? You better watch yourself, bucko. I don't like this humble attitude you've got.
Okay, Dad.
Don't you take that sincere tone with me.
But it's weird. You'd think that being independent would mean they would be even funnier. But I feel like they've been releasing more that just aren't as...
Had a commercial fishing business about 10 years ago, but then Katrina, it got us bad. We didn't have a boat. But what we did have is 2 posts. And the parents are willing to pay good money for a birthday party. They aren't always willing to pay for the fish. So what we said, hey, what if we combine the 2 greatest things in the world, birthday and the fish, and we have ourselves a little fish party.
Part of it may be that they're being more experimental and trying things like sitcoms. At least one of the sitcoms they're doing, Freelancers, is very entertaining. Kudos to writer Mallory Everton. But it feels like they all, including Freelancers, have every character be like a Cloud Cuckoo Lander. I feel like they need more sane characters to balance it out. And weirdly, they usually did that in their sketches, even though you'd think that would be less necessary for a comedy sketch than an ongoing sitcom. A lot of their videos are also more like behind the scenes stuff, like just actors talking, which is good if you're like a fan of them as people, but not something I'm interested in if I just want a funny video to watch. I do really like this podcast they did, Do Your Worst, where they talk about some of their old writing that was not as good as what they would later do. It's very encouraging for writers and very entertaining. Wish they did more episodes of that. Could it be that Studio C and the original cast somehow needed each other to be consistently great? I say no, and I sympathize with their reasons for leaving. A certain decline in the quality writing, I think, was inevitable. It happens to the best of shows eventually. It's not as simple as the old cast good, new cast bad. Both Studio C and JK Studios are producing some great content still. Like recently, Studio C did some live sketches for Dry Bar. That's apparently some kind of other clean comedy thing, which were a real return to form. And Studio C recently did a sketch It's not on YouTube yet. I hope it is. About what if Christopher Nolan directed a romantic comedy, which was hilarious. For me, it's still worth sitting through the subpar stuff to get to the great stuff. If you don't have as much time on your hands as I do, like if there are other TV shows you want to devote your time to, or just other stuff, then I can understand you not keeping up with the show. But if you do have some time to spare, I'd encourage you to give them another chance.